Welcome to the Let's Get Cozy Book Club podcast. This week we're chatting with Christine Kannapel, the author of The King's Promise. So grab a blanket, a warm beverage, and cozy up.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Hello.
So today we are joined with a special guest, and we're going to be talking to the author of The King's Promise. And Christine is a marketer by day and a writer by night. With a passion for poetry, fiction, and fantasy, she crafts stories and poems that blend concision, emotional depth, and vivid imagery. Her work has been featured in physical and online publications. Plus, she has self-published her novel, The King's Promise, and she lives in Wisconsin with her husband. Well,
Hi. So glad to be here.
Yes, we're really excited to have you. This is a first for us. So
Oh,
yes.
really?
Yes, to have an author. Yeah.
Debut author podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
So this will be fun. I have so many questions for you.
I'm so ready. I've never been questioned about this book really ever. So
Really?
I've never had this experience. So I'm so excited.
Okay, great.
Should we kick things off with a little game?
Yes. We have a little game we're going to play.
Sure.
It's pretty easy. So it's going to be a pronunciation game.
Right.
Because I'm really bad at pronouncing things. And so I'm going to show a note card, and Lydia and I are going to guess what the word is from the book and see if we're pronouncing it correctly. And then you can correct us if just correct us, and we're probably wrong. So
yeah.
Love it.
All right. We ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, this one's so hard.
Sancastria.
Sancastria?
Liza was the closest. It's Sancastria.
Sancastria. Okay.
Do you know where did this word come from?
I can't remember. So I wrote this book over 10 years ago. And I was so creative back then. I'm not saying I'm not creative now, but back then I was just like, I don't know.
So you made it up?
I did. Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, I could imagine that I looked at a map at some point and was like, hey, like, look at these different endings and this, like, I love wordplay. Like, that's, I am also a poet. So I love taking apart words and putting new ones together. So yeah, I'm sure if I looked back at the map, at a world map, I could be like, oh, there's that part and there's that part. And then I just threw them together. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's do another.
Ready?
Muddin.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. I remember when I first wrote this book, I was like, I'm going to have one of the bad ladies come from a country whose name is like boring. So that's why it's just Muddin, because I was like,
I like it.
That sounds like a boring country.
It's like dirty. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like mud.
In the sequel, you will visit
We visit Muddin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Vivian was back.
Maybe.
Is she like the evil stepmother to the...
I don't want to give away
You don't have to spoil
any
anything.
spoilers.
It's okay.
But she does go back and she does get to rule the country. And her character change is very interesting. She reminds me of another character from a very popular series, actually. I was writing a scene with her the other night and I was like, she reminds me of, I don't want to say who it is, but I tried to make Muddin more interesting. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make this much more interesting. Yeah, give it personality. Make readers excited to be there. So
cool. That's exciting.
Yeah,
I like Vivian.
Yeah, well, you'll probably like her more. I really like her in the second book. I like what I did with her.
Fun.
Nice.
Cool. Let's do another. Another. Hordeland.
Hordeland.
It's Hordenland.
Hordenland.
Like hoarding, like a dragon hoarding. Yeah, Hordenland. But I did like the way you guys said it too because it kind of dropped one of the syllables, so it was a little more smoother. So I was like, that's actually a great way. Yeah.
Hordenland. Oh,
Okay.
we were way wrong.
We were wrong.
No,
It's okay.
Oh, this one.
Salts.
Is it salt?
it's Saul's, like Salzburg.
Sauls.
Oh, Sauls.
We're really
Yeah.
off.
Really wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's a weird word. And also, it's kind of a German word that I totally stole. from
Liza, you should have
Salzburg.
gotten it right then.
No,
I
I'm not very
know.
good with
With your German husband. I don't know how
Yeah.
you'd feel about that, though. I know people don't really like it when you steal from other languages, but I was also like 17 when I wrote this book, so so I kept it. And Salzburg, well, so Saul's and like the castle was based off of Neuschwanstein, which is not in Austria, it's in Bavaria. But then I also,
Yes.
as a child, I was really into Salzburg. So I think I just kind of stole those two, which I'm sure that the Bavarians and Austrians would really appreciate. But yeah, that's where you're right. I'm like, it's fantasy, let it go. So
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I always associate it with salt, and like I was like, they're like in the mountains or the
salt
salt
yeah,
mines.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
salt
was what I was
mines.
picturing.
Mhm. Sauls.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have
All
done
right,
this
couple
before
more.
the other podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, Linder Servia.
Yeah,
Linder
that's
Servia.
like Linder's
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay.
All right, that
right.
one's straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. This one,
Fast.
Is it-
Fastin?
is it Faston?
Feston.
Like French?
But
Feston.
yes. I at the time I was writing this, I was so into French. Like I loved French. I actually minored in French. So some of the
Oh.
words definitely have like that French twinge, whatever to it. But I don't really care now. Like say it however you want. Faston. Linda Zerbians would probably say fastin because language breaks down over time. So
Yeah.
All right. This one's for us. We're making sure we are actually pronouncing
Yep, that's
your last
right.
name correctly. Is it can apple?
Can apple.
Like a can of apples. I'm sure at one point it was like Kannapel. It's a very Germanic French name at some point. Speaking of like using words together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's right. Can apple.
Good. Okay, and then this one's for you. We're gonna see if you can pronounce our last name.
Kinsick?
Pinzac.
Yeah.
Pinzac.
Yeah.
So
Pinzac.
close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were
It's
close.
close.
It's
Everyone pronounces it wrong. It's okay.
Right.
names are hard.
The Z. I'll just remember it's more of a Z sound.
Yes. That's what
Mhm.
I tell people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for playing.
Yeah, thank
That was
you.
fun.
That was fun. And also, like, I don't really mind how people say it. Just so you know, like, I'm like,
No,
it's not
yeah.
mine anymore.
No,
So,
it's just like
yeah,
when you
it's
say it
fun.
out loud when we were discussing it, we were like, wait, how do you
Oh my
pronounce that word?
That's it. Like, before, like, I met anyone really, like, this was, I don't know, before, like, I read the Aquatar series, and I hadn't really met anyone who actually, like, read it too, which sounds funny because it's so popular. But, like, I hadn't really met anyone in my crowd who
Yeah.
had read it. Oh, I got, like, all the names wrong. Say with Throne of Glass. Like,
Oh yeah, like rice. Right. I don't even know how you say rice.
Sand.
Yes,
But
I can't.
I like
I have no idea.
Ricin more too. Like I was like, I actually
Oh,
like
I
that
thought
word.
that's what it was.
Reese, because his nickname's Reese, right? So Reese-and. Yeah. But I like Rice.
Yeah,
more.
me too.
But anyway, right? Like when it's in your head, you just don't. Yeah. Anyway.
No worries. Okay, I'm excited to talk about the book. So
Yes.
I guess we'll start at the beginning if you don't mind. So you said you wrote the book
course.
when you were 16?
17. Yep.
17.
So summers during my childhood were very lonely. I was an only child. I did have close cousins. I was raised as an only child, and I always thought that I was actually quite socially awkward. So I spent a lot of time writing, like poetry and stories. So this isn't the first book I wrote. I had
Okay.
started writing as early as middle school. I remember I went to a parochial school and I should have gotten tested for ADHD then. I would basically spend my whole religion class, which was 30 minutes a day, writing my books. But I already read the religion textbook, so I was ready with answer, like I had it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing
Wow.
both at the same time. So that's like where I really got my foundation in writing. So I got to this habit of every summer, like I wrote a book. That was
That's
like my goal.
incredible. Wow.
Yeah, not saying they were any good, right? I was a teenager and I
Wow.
loved to
Yeah.
read and
That's
write. Yeah, so
cool.
that's like the origin story. And The King's Promise, yeah, that was a combination of so many different things. I had just read a book called Catherine by Anya Seton. And I remember that summer, it was also the first summer I watched, or first time I ever watched, Anne of a Thousand Days. Is that what it's called? It has Helen Bonham Carter in it and
I
Wesley,
don't know
Farmer's
it.
Boy. No,
No.
it's
No.
about, no, Jane of a Thousand Days. Sorry, it's a Tudor era movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had
Hmm.
watched those, and that summer my grandma lived in Durango, Colorado, and so every now and then my dad would do this bike race that goes from Durango to Silverton, and I would stay with my grandma while he did that. And I was on the train because it's like a tradition where you can take the train up the mountain to go meet the cyclers at the top, cyclists
Oh,
at the
that's
top.
cool.
Yeah, so I was like sitting there thinking about these things, and I was like, what if there was like a princess like who lived in these beautiful mountains? And I don't know if you know this, but in Silverton, like they call that mountain range like Little Switzerland, like that area, like that's what they
Cool.
Hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
refer it to. Yeah, so I was like going up, and I was like, I know, like I'll do a medieval fantasy story about a princess who's being forced to marry this like kind of
Henry.
emotionally stunted but very
Yeah.
handsome stoic kind of guy, and that's where like Jane of a Thousand Days, like I feel like the guy in that, Wesley, he's a lot. And then like in Catherine, that book, John of Gaunt, a historical figure, is definitely very kind of like Henry, like very obsessed with power. So it's like, I just want this girl who's, she doesn't wield a sword. She's smart, but she's also been trained to be a consort. Like that's who she is. That's who she wants to be. And that's like her sense of freedom. So I remember sitting there thinking about that, like thinking it was like been done before. Yeah, so it was the mountains and all of that other context. That's where that story was born. Mhm.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Cool.
thanks.
How
I
did
did have
you?
a. Oh,
Oh, you go
go
ahead,
for it.
Liz.
No, I had a follow-up question. Do you still try to write a book every summer? I'm like
Oh no.
taking us
Are
into like
you
a totally different direction.
No, that might become a new thing. Like I'll tell you what, writing this sequel, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's potential. Like if I end it on another cliffhanger, there could be a third book, and I could write that one and have it out by next summer. But then I'm like, no, because I want to kind of go traditional after this. Like I don't know if I love the indie route. But then I was like, oh, but I could also do a spin-off about Vivian, and like if you read the sequel, you might understand why I want to do a spin-off about Vivian, and her story. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I could write a book every season. But no, college really, I don't know, college uprooted that entire thing. So, and I got into poetry. Actually, my poetry professor read The King's Promise, or at least parts of it, and was like, I think you're actually a poet. I mean, she at the time was the poet laureate of Utah. So I think when the poet laureate tells you that, you
Yeah.
listen to it. So I really took a
Wow.
break from fiction. And I mean, my master's was an emphasis of poetry. So yeah, no, after all that, once I started working a 9 to 5 and was like bored, I tried again. And I've done two NaNoWriMos back to back.
Hmm.
So I
What's
have
that? Sorry.
it's all good. It doesn't really matter anymore because it's defunct. It's National Novel
Oh.
Writing Month. They
Oh,
were a
okay.
nonprofit, and the whole goal is to write 50,000 words of a book in the month of November.
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
Oh.
obviously, like I'm kind of trained for that type of writing where you have everything outlined and then you just go. So um, I've tried that, and I have two other manuscripts, and yeah, I really want to focus on those after this. Sorry, that was the answer. But I do have a chapbook of poetry coming out as well. That's
Oh,
not
that's
self-published.
exciting. That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do both. We'll see if I
Wow,
can.
yeah, that's a lot on top of a normal
Nine
job
to
too.
five. Yeah.
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 Go, Lydia.
I wanted to go to like the map and like the world
Yeah.
building and how you built like the places. And did you hire someone to create the map or how what did that look like or like the character art and like everything like that?
Yeah, so the map I originally drew, I used to also love drawing maps and
Wow.
people. I'm not very much of an artist, but I'm very good at like illustrating based off of other things.
Mm.
So I used to love doing like portraits based off of portraits that exist. So like way back in the day, I did my own maps and I did my own characters. And then this map, I put it onto what is it called, like Inkart or Incarnate? I can't remember what it's called, but it's a map software
Oh,
website.
cool.
So
Okay.
I did that and I kind of digitalized it and then I sent it to an artist to make it look pretty because I'm so bad at like,
Yeah.
I never did like the paint app or anything. I
Yeah,
can never
yeah.
do it. So I did originally draw that, and then I asked an artist to take it kind of to the next level, and then all of the character art now I paid for.
That's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I don't know. I like, well, that's part of the reason why I like fantasy books is like having a map and like being in a different
right.
world. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I love seeing other writers like how they come up with their map and stuff. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's very cool.
I guess you kind of mentioned before that a lot of the influence came from the Tudor TV show. Is there like any other
Oh,
kind of like influences for the world or Linda Surveyor and all of that? Or where did like kind
Or
of
any of the
this all come
characters
from?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So, as I said, like Catherine by Anya Seton, it's a historical fiction novel. It was written in like the 40s or 50s, I think. I can't remember. It's an older book. My great grandpa actually gave it to me because he was obsessed with ancestry. And he was like, "We're descended from John of Gaunt and Catherine." And I was like, "Well,
Wow.
that's a long time ago and a lot of people. So I don't know how true that is, but he loved that book because of that. And it made such an impression on me and it definitely influenced Henry and Cassandra. I was also obsessed with Marie Antoinette,
Mm.
the movie. I've read all the biographies. So, kind of this idea of like a princess going to a new place was very based off of her. Cassandra's not like Marie Antoinette, though, character
No,
wise.
yeah.
She doesn't lose her head. I'm like,
No,
well, we might get there. We have to discuss
might go
this.
there. No, yeah, she's kind of the opposite in some ways of Marie Antoinette, but that did have like definitely French culture medieval into the 18th century, like I feel like you can kind of feel sprinklings throughout the entire book. And then I don't know, I was obsessed with old French poetry, and that's actually where the idea of these like ballads and historical notes came from because
Okay.
I was so
Yeah.
into that at the
Hmm.
time. And I also thought it'd be a cool way to have the reader kind of solve the riddle on their own a
Yeah.
little bit,
Hmm.
right? That was kind of my way of doing that at the time. And I just loved this idea of writing like formal, purple
Hmm.
prosy, like, yeah. So anyway, that all had an influence. And also the tapestries of, I think it's called like the Lady in the Unicorn or something. I was obsessed. Obsessed. Again, I had no friends. I had no friends during my summer holidays. So,
Um, okay. So one question I had for you
mhm.
was how you came up with the Isle of Joan and
You want to go
how
there?
can I go there?
So you can have lovers and relax by the sea and
Yeah.
warm weather.
This sounds like a
You
great place
know,
to be.
I was thinking about this question because I was like, how did I come up with that? Like, I could not remember. And then I was like, going back to Marie Antoinette, Louis the 16th gave Marie Antoinette the Petit Trignon as like her retreat. Like he was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that could
yeah.
be your like personal retreat. And I'm like, I'm wondering if that's where I got that from, but then made it more of like a feminist tilt where this
Yeah.
queen was like, I'm gonna go create my own island and it's gonna be the party island party,
Hmm.
so I think I'm like, I bet that's where I got it from. So
Yeah.
mhm.
I
Okay,
liked
but
it.
so did the king know that she had children with Richard on this island? Like, or did
Yeah.
he just
So
he had no clue about like what she was doing on that island and why she was gone for like 10 months
at a
at a
time,
time?
right? No,
For four
I think
kids.
for 4 kids, so at least 4 times, and they're all pretty close together too. So I want to say yes, but he loved her so much, and not with Richard. I don't think he knew who.
Richard was the one who
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, but
Or
I
was the
think
father.
he definitely suspected something was going on, and I think that's why after he loses her, he definitely sinks into this like madness because he's like, what was it all for?
Hmm.
You know, that's his internal battle for sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was so young when I wrote it. I don't think I fully understood like the emotional impact that would have. So I
Mm.
I was like, he's just gonna be mad.
That would probably drive plenty of people mad. So, yeah.
Right. Right. And he loved her enough to not want to sully her reputation.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. And Henry also has some of this madness in him. But is it
Yeah.
the same madness or is it a different type of madness? Because he is very obsessed with these tapestries and figuring
So,
out the king's promise.
yes, the King's Promise may or may not be a bit of a familial curse in a way. So, the thing that ignites the focus of the madness are these tapestries. So, if you don't have the tapestries and you're not familiar, haven't seen them, then that madness might turn into something else, but it's there. So,
Mm.
Henry is kind of, there are a lot of keys in my story, right? But that's kind of the key that unlocked that madness. Like, yeah.
And
So
then he found a literal
unfortunately,
key.
he does
Yes.
find a literal key. That's yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. And that's kind of what I thought too, was
Yeah.
that like
Good.
just the Henry like was different and like very obsessed with finding the king's promise. His dad didn't seem that way, but I guess because he saw
No.
the tapestries that's why.
Yeah, the
Okay.
tapestries definitely have an impact.
Got it.
And is this promised land a real place? Or is this like
I'm not gonna
part
say.
of the myth?
Yeah, that's
Oh, this is have to read
Gotta
book
wait and
2
find
to
out.
find
I gotta
out.
wait and
Yes.
find out.
Okay.
But I love
Okay.
that you're asking because that's one of the small mysteries I wanted to keep alive.
Yeah. Okay. I think another question we had or that we debated a little bit is who killed Henry
Hmm.
and whether or not the same
Spoiler, by the
person
way,
what
for if
Oh yeah,
people haven't read
spoiler
it.
warnings.
Spoiler.
yes.
We're going
Oh,
into the
yes.
ending now because we have questions and we have Christine
Yes.
to answer them.
We're going to the end where everything happened and
Boom, boom, boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, yes, spoil everybody. Henry's dead.
Hmm.
Did Richard kill him? And did Richard also kill Anthony, Cassandra's brother? That's our question.
That's a good question.
Whatever
I'm
you can
gonna,
share. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if
Or is it
that's not
open to
ruining-
interpretation?
So I'll answer half of it.
Okay.
Richard did kill Henry.
Okay.
And I'm comfortable saying that because I think most people suspect it and it'll
Yeah.
just be confirmed in the sequel. I can't decide if it's going to be directly confirmed or not. There's the inciting incident that happens at the end where I want it to be very directly confirmed. So throughout, if you suspect it, great. And now you know for sure that, yeah, he's the old withered hands that are
Yes.
actually
Yes,
also
yes,
strong. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
That's what we thought, but okay.
Because it could have been his brother Jared. There was a little suspicion in there that
I
Jared
maybe
is
could have been him.
suspicious. Yes.
I know. I'm glad that worked because I wanted there to be kind of this like question about these Cunningham brothers, like who's actually doing what? Are they both kind of nefarious? But no, I use a lot of Myers-Briggs in my personal like building my characters, and Jared I've tried to make an INFJ, and they can be very in everyone's business because I care. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely came
That's
across.
an interesting insight. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh. Yeah, Jared's in
He was
I don't know.
kind
He
of
was-
snooper. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He was in everybody's
Hovering
business.
in places he should not be.
Just like randomly
Get
showing
out of
up.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creeping.
Yeah, he's creepy sometimes.
Do you have any other questions for the end of the book, Liz?
Do we want to go into the key? Who gave?
Yes.
All right. So what happens is Henry's killed. Jared comes running to the castle to try to warn everyone that the bad guys are coming, and he is way too late. And his brother Richard, Matthew, and Philip are all invading. And then everyone gets either killed or shoved in a closet. And then someone gives a key to who is in the closet? Louisa, Edward, and Jared. And we don't know who. It's someone with a blue eye. And my guess is Matthew, but like I couldn't remember what color eyes Philip's were. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was, well, I wasn't really sure who it was, but my guess was that it was either Matthew or Philip, depending on the
Before
timing.
Philip
If like
died.
Philip, before Philip, which spoiler everybody, Philip also
Right.
dies, but yeah. Everyone pretty much dies.
Which I didn't see coming.
No, I did
No.
not see
Philip
that coming
wasn't be
either.
dead.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot to mention, and I really want to mention this. A lot of this is based on Shakespeare. And I think that's where people get
Okay.
actually Game of Thrones vibes from
Yeah.
this, is because I love Shakespearean tragedies. Love, 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 love. Like all the build up. I'm not saying I'm writing like Shakespeare, like I'm not comparing my writing, but I studied that a lot. I was obsessed with Shakespeare. So anyway, not to
That's why everybody dies.
that's why everyone dies, you know, and what's it called?
Plague
Nabokov's
or murder.
done or whatever. Yeah. Yep, I love a good romantic tragedy. All my stories are gonna have elements of that, just so you know. Anyway,
We're here
what
for
was
it.
the question? Oh, the key. I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll find out in
Yeah.
the second book.
Yeah, because there's definitely someone who in this group who's very strong-willed and knows exactly what they want and may not agree with Richard's ways. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that. Okay.
Speaking of Richard, because I wanted to get into this. So why did he allow Cassandra to live? Because Cassandra's stuck in a different closet, and we find out that she is pregnant. And Richard originally was going to murder her, but then he's like, oh, wait, she's pregnant. I can't murder her. And so I'm going to banish you to Saul's.
Yeah. He has a little bit of a conscience, I guess. You know,
So had she not been pregnant, he would have murdered her?
maybe. Yeah, maybe. But I also wanted there to be enough room for a sequel. I remember way back. And I did actually write the sequel, and it's horrible. Like, I'm not going to tell you. Like, it was horrible. I read it, and I was
So you're
like,
rewriting the sequel.
I am.
But you wrote it like when you were a teenager?
Actually, so I wrote it my first year of college over
Okay.
Christmas break because I had just binged The Tudors,
Okay.
and it reopened. And then also I had been in a relationship at the time, and he had been very supportive of this story. Like he had really, you know, he was like trying to prove himself to me, and he was all like, "You should write the sequel." So I did, but it was so bad. Like I just like, it's like the worst thing I've ever written. Anyway. But there had always been this intention for a sequel. And, you know, I kind of thought that if Richard went and killed everyone, he wouldn't be real. Like, it would be too
Yeah.
cartoonish. Like, it would be too stereotypical. And also, this is going to be discussed in the sequel, but I think I actually added the scene in The King's Promise when he takes Cassandra in the Queen's Tower, like takes her aside and is like, you should have, this knowledge,
Yeah.
right? I was like, I
Yeah,
think
he
Mhm.
didn't dislike like Cassandra or
no,
anything. Like they were like he was close with their family, obviously, since he was
yes,
like the what's it called?
diplomat,
Emissary or diplomat.
Yeah.
emissary,
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, I
I
remember that.
think he sees this spark in her and sees that she's just, I mean, this is what he thinks, that she's just gonna play her line, right? Like she's not someone who's gonna go
She's not a
bring an
threat.
army. She's not a threat. And he is also sexist,
Right.
100%. And that's going to come out in the next book a lot, just with how he treats his daughters. So he's probably got this inkling in his mind where he's like, oh, she's never going to come
Yeah.
fight for her son's throne. Like, now she has this daughter and the son's missing. Like, yeah. So
Hmm.
he's just a horrible man. He's despicable.
Just writes her off. She's in
Yeah.
Saul's. She's don't have to think
She's
about her.
fine. No, she's just going to be depressed and whatever.
She
So
was depressed for a lot of the book,
Yeah.
so that is a
I
fair
She was alone
assumption.
so much. I felt so bad for her.
I
And he was
know.
kind of
Oh,
not
he's
that we're happy he's
horrible.
dead, but he was not a great husband.
No, he was not a good husband, and I hadn't been in a real relationship yet, and I did an Instagram post where I did his variants, and one of them was Edward Cullen from the Twilight Saga,
Mm.
Okay.
and I was like, I think, I
Yeah.
mean, John of Gaunt. I should have done John of Gaunt. I don't know why I didn't choose him, but no one knows who that is, so that's probably why I didn't. But they respond very similarly, like. In New Moon, Edward's like, I'm out of here.
Hmm.
I'm a threat, so I'm going to emotionally distance myself. Like, that's his first choice in keeping her safe.
And that kind of gets us to, is Cassandra dead at the end of the book? Because I thought she was dead
I didn't
based
get
on
that though.
based on the
Okay.
letter.
Yeah. You know
Because
what? Yeah, go on.
okay, well, because I thought so. The end of the book ends with a letter to Antonia that's from Jared, and I
Mhm.
thought, on like when Cassandra was like dying, well, she's like, I'm pregnant, I'm banished. Jared, please tell my child if I don't make it. Here's this key to the kingdom of the promised land, and they are now the secret keeper, and they have to fulfill this promise. And I
Right.
thought Jared was only going to deliver that news to the child if mom was dead, because mom could have told the child otherwise.
Right.
But you didn't get
Okay.
that, Lydia?
There's a lot of room in between though. Like there was, she could have been banished again somewhere else, or I don't know. But
I love
yeah.
that there's this ambiguous, actually, I thought about that. Like, after I listened to your second podcast on this book, I was like, at first I was like, wait, no. Oh, no. And then I was like, wait, actually, I like that there's this room of doubt, like, because it'll just lead to more excitement for the sequel.
Mhm.
So, but no, how do I answer this? So
You don't have to if you don't want to.
well, the thing is, everyone's going to know because of the book summary for the sequel. It's already actually posted
Oh,
on Goodreads and Amazon. So,
okay.
like, I might as well just tell you, she does survive, but that doesn't necessarily mean Jared does with her, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Oh,
So the book will need to be delivered to Antonia, but it just might not be in the way you expect.
okay.
Okay.
And it also doesn't mean that Cassandra doesn't, she's definitely different in the second book. So 10 years have passed.
So it's 10 years in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I can't leave Antonia motherless. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And also, Matthew needs someone.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, who else is around Matthew's age?
Right?
Besides Vivian, but that
This
would
is still
be.
a romance. Oh, that'd be weird. They would not be compatible. Um, yes, this is still a romantic story.
Mm-hmm.
There still has to be
Yeah.
that romantic fantasy. It's romantic fantasy, by the way, not romantasy. Not that you guys said that. I'm just, in case anyone listens to this, I'm like, it's romantic fantasy. So,
Okay. I guess what's the difference in your mind?
in my mind, it's that fantasy is the heavier element, but there's still a really strong romantic thread that drives the plot,
Yeah.
right? Because I'd say my book's very character decision,
Hmm.
sorry, driven, or lack of decisions drive the narrative.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Okay.
yeah. Whereas romantasy is like, they burn the world together and their romance is what drives the entire story in some
Yeah.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hmm.
yeah. So I try to make that clarification because back when I first had ARC readers, I think some readers were disappointed and that there wasn't
That
more like spice, more explicit spice. So yeah.
I also feel like with a lot of romantasy, there's like non-humans involved in the romance the romance part of it.
Right.
They're I don't know,
Hmm.
fae, they're all kinds of creatures or whatever. So that's also what
Yes.
I always think of. So
Like this is like romantic, like capital R romantic. If you know, like
yeah.
Shakespeare,
yeah.
romantic poet.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pre-Raphael lights. Is that what they were called? The ones who in the 1800s.
Okay. So I guess before we maybe ask you for some more spoilers on book
Uh-huh.
two, I guess, so what, like, do you think that Liza and I, like, hit on, like, the themes and tropes that you wanted, like, readers to explore? Or what were some of those themes that you, like, wanted your readers to grapple with, at the end of the
Oh,
story or throughout the story?
100%. I feel like you guys, and I just like it made me so happy, like my little writer heart so happy because I feel like I mean, this is the case with every book, but everyone who gets it like really does get it. And I felt that way with you. And I have a few other art creators who read it and have been so supportive. Like I feel like you guys understand the complexity of human decisions and the human experience. And I felt like I tried to bring that. So I feel like you guys really understood that. And just the power plays, like I feel like you guys got the power plays really well too. And I was like so excited about that. And then like picking up on little like world building things I sprinkled in there. And yeah, and of course I'm also really happy when people say they like the book inside the book concept because I really, yeah, was excited to do that. I did get one person who said they thought I was cheating for world building, and I was like, oh,
Really?
oh yeah. They're like, it was
Oh.
cheating. I was like, oh, okay. So, I mean, this book isn't for everyone for sure, which is fine. No book is, but like, I just appreciate that you guys talked about that. And you guys just made such funny comments, and especially in the second episode when you're talking about like Henry's perspective, I was like, can I just have a whole podcast where you just like psychoanalyze Henry and like for like voice his narrative? I was like, please, he's so funny.
Yeah, an interesting character, an interesting king, for sure.
Oh,
For
and I
sure.
also just appreciate that you guys understood Cassandra because I was really nervous about that. Actually, one of the questions you sent me beforehand was which character was like harder for me to write. For some reason, Henry was
Hmm.
super easy for me to write. I don't know what that says about me, but like Cassandra, especially when I edited it, like I edited her character very carefully because I was like, I don't want her to be what's it called, a Mary Sue. It's like kind of a goody two shoes, flat
Yeah.
character. Things just kind
Hmm.
of happen to her. So I was like,
Hmm.
I need to make her more complex, and I tried to do that. Yeah, she was more difficult, and Philip came to me super easily because I feel like we all know someone like him,
The
Yeah.
evil younger brother.
right? Very cartoonish. And that's actually one reason why I gave him and Cassandra that scene. I wrote that in this time because I was like, he needs to be more human. Like you need to see some more of his
Yeah.
perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think if I had included it. That's another question you guys had is like, what scene do people talk about the most?
Mm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that one and the battle are like the two scenes I feel like I hear about the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, I definitely think that helped make Philip like we saw that he was like a good father and like a better husband than Henry. And so like we couldn't maybe
True.
Oh,
understand his like
Facts.
hatred toward his brother, but like he at least
right.
had like somewhat of a good side to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really tried
Yeah.
to play into like a medieval culture, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
And
I
Yeah,
think you
frostbite
definitely
and the
did that.
plague. Yeah.
Yes.
good, good.
I got that for
Yeah,
sure.
me
Yeah, I
too.
actually really enjoyed reading the battle. I think I mentioned that, but like I don't
Uh-huh.
read a lot of like war scenes. And
Right.
it had like very good imagery, and I could like kind of very much picture it in my mind of it like happening where they were like going out in the middle of the night and like
Good.
hiding in the woods and stuff. And I thought it was kind of funny.
I had one reader reach out to me because I like did a story and I was like, oh, so my book is such a perfect like fall autumnal cozy read. And one of my ARC readers was like, um, this is not cozy. Like people literally get their like fingers frozen off and like they brought up the battle scene. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
It's not like
I
too graphic though.
No.
oh
No, it's like a
well,
wintry read, like a early winter maybe.
okay, well, I
Yeah.
can see the snowstorm part, but I
Yeah.
always think of Henry being dragged on the horse. That was kind of that like that is seared in
Oh
my mind. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, that is
And
like
like hung on the
brutal.
gate at
Just
the
like
end.
I
parading him
know.
around the like town that the king
But
is
that's what
dead.
they did though.
I know, but
That's
that
like Marie
is like
Antoinette.
It's got to
Yeah.
be
yes,
historically accurate, guys.
but like that is brutal.
Yeah. No,
Brutal
that
out
yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No. No, very yeah. I really enjoyed the book. It was a fun read. I haven't read a
Good.
medieval story in a while, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it could give you some excitement, something a little different.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Should we go into book two?
Well, Christine might not want to
Oh
go
yeah,
to.
no.
Okay.
Well, it's just
Yeah.
like the basics.
Uh-huh.
What's the title of it? What can you reveal or like what can we be
Yeah.
expecting in this book?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, so far it's much longer, but it is in draft two. So, and I'm about to go edit it before I send it to my editor. So it'll probably be still a little longer, I'd imagine. And it's going to be three POVs. It's going to
Oh,
be Matthew, Cassandra, and Thomas, who is Henry's
oh,
half brother and is now the Crown Prince of Windsor, whether or not he wants to be.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yep.
I
Um,
remember Thomas. Yeah, he had like a very short,
yeah.
like, yeah.
So I
he
have
had
to like
Okay.
invent him, right? Because like
Mm-hmm.
at the time I wrote him, yeah, still is kind of like a child. So it's 10 years later. So he's in
hmm
his early 20s and he has not had an easy time of it. Richard is still horrible. I'm not going to give away what he does to Thomas, but he is not a father who
Not a good
respects his
father.
children. No, he's
Yeah.
horrible,
Okay.
right? So Thomas has his reasons for doing what he ends up doing, but his character is very much inspired by Hamlet. Um,
Okay.
like he knows he needs to do things, he has pressure from other people, and he does it, but kind of makes erratic decisions that have
Hmm.
domino effects. So that's his POV, and you do see Matthew, Cassandra, and Thomas come together. Yeah, he's sent on this mission by his dad, and he uses the mission for another reason, right? But I mean, Richard's pretty smart, so
hmm
anyway, all right. And then Cassandra's perspective is very much Lady in the Tower, and she has her own objectives, one of which includes kind of that secret keeper legend.
Yeah.
And Matthew, he's a very good king, and he's actually a very good person, and I want him to be the opposite of Henry. Like Cassandra deserves it, but this story will definitely play with also like motherhood and balancing. I mean, Cassandra had quite a traumatic past, right? So obviously she's going to be protective
Yeah.
of her children and her country and her own fate. So that's going to be something I hope I can cover well and in depth. Yeah, so the Matthew and Cassandra's POVs are definitely more interwoven. Their scenes will
Okay.
communicate with each other. Whereas Thomas, he's going to be going all over the map. So you guys will get to go to Mudden, more into Saul's, besides the castle. There's a whole scene. I can't wait. It challenges him as a character. He has a lady knight. He's not so
I was wondering
Thomas.
who the love interest is for him. It's a new character.
Yeah, so Thomas, I don't want to give away too much. He's a queer representative character. He's bisexual. So his lover, I don't want to spoil anything, but he and his lover are no longer together. But he really, really loved him. It was a young love. It was the first love. And
From the Isle of Joan,
no,
where love
no,
is. No.
no. But what ends up happening between him and his lover really forces him, like, changes his trajectory. It's pivotal.
Okay.
So he and his lady knight actually do not have a romantic relationship. No, her name's Latilda. I don't even know why I brought her up, but just something happens in Saul's, and I just love, like, that was my favorite scenes to write. Again, with snow and trauma. I like writing about snow and trauma.
No, more
So
frostbite's coming.
more frostbite is coming, and they go into Mudden, and I mean, Thomas just is really bad at decisions. Like, I'm just going to tell you that right now. He's like Henry, but a better person.
Okay.
And he sees himself a lot in Henry. Like, that's part of the play in his character, right? Like, he's very much
Yeah.
like, I feel bad about my brother. And they look alike, which is traumatizing for Cassandra. She almost flips out and throws him off the tower. Just kidding. No, but, yeah, it's very, very intense there. And people, he's grown up with that, like, kind of whispered, like, oh, he's so much like Henry, like he's gonna be like
Yeah.
Henry. Yeah, so they make it into Mudden and some other places. So it'll be more fun. That one's a more fun perspective. You get to meet more people. You get to explore the continent, because I did get some feedback that people had wished that there was more of that. So yeah, sorry.
What about
And
Louisa? Is she come back or is she?
she's very important.
Oh,
She
Great.
yeah, no.
I liked her.
Me too. I tried to make her kind of like the no nonsense friend a little bit, but also very playful. She is back. You won't meet her till the third act of the novel, till the very, very end, when all the chaos comes together, as I like to do. This one also will written a similar format. Again, I like to kind of, with this series, I like it to kind of mirror play with acts.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what it reminds me of the like parts. Yeah.
Yes. So
Very
you do
like a
meet
play.
her at the very, very end, and she has done wonderful things. She's had to do some crazy things to do them, but she's still Cassandra's best friend and will do anything for her. So yeah.
Cool.
Do you have
Well, I'm
other
excited.
Yeah.
and when are you planning on this coming out? Or when should readers expect it?
January 5th. I have it. It's posted. Like,
Okay.
but it's
So
like
soon.
We'll include the link. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I decided I needed to just do it. So it's being done. But
That's exciting.
Cool.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm having a professional editor with this one, and I'm really excited for that. I can't even tell you.
I guess so. For the first book, you edited and did everything yourself.
Yeah, I did. I did have an editor, but they fell through. So I wasn't gonna spend like money. So I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to use all of my knowledge and try to be as like separate myself as much as possible, which was actually really
Yeah.
easy to do because it's been over 10 years now. Right? So it was almost
Yeah.
like reading someone else's work. And that's
Mm-hmm.
actually another point is I'm trying really hard to make The Sacred Keeper very similar style-wise because my style has changed. And there still will be the book inside the book. It's going to be a little different because Saul's is different. It's called Songs of Saul's for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be more poetic poetry. I hope people don't skip over them because they're still going to be important. I can see the temptation, and I'm like, no, you got to read it. So you want the story to make
It's where
sense.
the devil's in the details. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did edit
And
The King's Promise. Sorry, go on.
no, I just wanted you to explain self-publishing a book, like what that actually
Yeah,
means versus like going the traditional route, because you have to do everything.
you do. You do. And it's like a full-time job. And I think I could be doing even more. There's a local author who's done so well, and she actually just got agented. She got an agent here in Wisconsin, and like she does like all the events, she does all the marketing, and she's just amazing. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like you can do that. And it is like a full-time job. You go to book conferences, and I mean, you have to pay for those booths yourself. If you want to enter into prizes, you also have to pay for those yourself. Like you have to, the art, the covers, editing, like it's all, not only are you like shelling out for that, but you have to be your own marketer, which I've heard that even if you do
Mm-hmm.
trad, you kind of have to market yourself too, especially on
Mm-hmm.
socials. Like that doesn't really change. And that's one reason why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to do indie because I just, I'm like, I would rather have that experience of like the traditional publisher experience where you have it through
Mm-hmm.
all the editors and all the copywriters. And with my writing process, I'm very much like, once I am done with it, like once it's not on my desk anymore, it's not really mine, it's ours. Like that's how I see it. Like it's like, because that's the thing with like indie, a lot of people like it because you have more control, right? Like you're like, no
Mm-hmm.
one's going to change. I get to
Yeah,
do what I
that's true.
want,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. But I mean, for me personally, like I don't mind that. I don't see, again, once it's off my desk, I'm like, this is a collaborative effort. Of course, there are things I'd stand by, probably, but yeah. So with indie, like you truly are independent. Like I feel like that word is very important.
Yeah, you're doing everything. Mm-hmm.
And I just want to applaud like all of the indie writers and out there who also do their social media and their own marketing and all of that because it is a
It's a
lot.
lot.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I don't actually love that part. So, oh
that's fair. It's not writing. Yeah.
my gosh, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to fall in the trap where I'm just constantly making reels, to go viral or to get a huge number of followers. And like, I'd much rather just have a couple loyal readers so I can focus on my writing.
Yeah.
And do you have any advice for aspiring writers?
Oh my
Fantasy
gosh.
authors.
Write a
Um,
novel a
Or
summer.
Write a novel
yeah.
summer, do half a novel every November. Honestly, I am not an expert and I don't want to situate myself as an expert. But I think the most important thing is to like find your own strategy, like to find your own way of writing. Because I don't know, back when I was getting my master's, there's this one writer who's amazing. Like he's written these amazing books that are like really big. His way of doing things obviously works for him. Like his was like, I write at 5 a.m. every day, and while I'm still in the dream state, which if you read his books, they're very much that way. And he's like, if you're not doing that every day, like if you're not writing and dedicating that time, you're not really a writer. Like you don't have the passion for it, right? And I was like, hang on,
Yeah.
right?
There's
I'm like
more than one
that.
way of doing things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very much in that camp of like, if that works for you, that's wonderful. And I'm jealous. Whereas I'm someone who needs a deadline, right? Like I'm not going to get writing done or prioritize it unless I have a deadline. So self-imposed or not. So I think figuring that out and like when you can fit it in is best. Then also finding a workshop group or critique group or a person that you really trust. sometimes personally, I think there's too much of an emphasis on finding a writer's group because I think, like, through my experiences of doing workshops and everything, it's really, you don't want to waste your time or anyone else's time. And that might sound harsh, but I think if you don't find the right person or the right persons to read your work and critique it, like, it's not as valuable, right? Like, I think some
Mhm.
people, there's this push, like, oh, I need a critique group. I need all these readers to give input. And it's like, I think quality over quantity is better
Mhm.
because it can
That
get
makes sense. Yeah.
confusing. Yeah, so that's another thing. I'm like, be a little careful with that. It's important, but like maybe be selective.
Yeah, who you take your advice from. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
really
and
important.
you also don't want to like people
For
please too
feedback. Yeah.
much, right? Like you're like, oh, I want to please all these people. It's like, no, no, no. Like you have to stand by some of your decisions. So yeah,
I
that's
like
it.
that.
One more
Okay.
thing too. Don't let anyone tell you can only write one thing, okay? Because I've been told that so many times. Like, oh, you can only write poetry or you can only write fantasy. And I'm like, create a pen name. I don't know. Like, I don't think it matters that much now. I think, I mean, I'm not in the publishing industry, so maybe there's something I'm missing, but I'm like, I just think you can write whatever you want and don't, unless, it's horrible and hateful kind of thing. Like, don't do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, genre-wise,
Is your poetry under a pen name? I know you
no,
have something coming out, so I wasn't sure if
I
it.
do.
Yeah.
Yep, I have a chapbook coming out soon. I haven't been given the date yet, but I was given the interior file and the cover, and I'm so excited. And it's a collection of sonnets that
Hmm.
I wrote
Wow.
while I lived in
I've
Ireland.
Wow.
It was giving me
Yeah.
Shakespeare vibes. Remember me like
Yeah.
Shakespeare, like high school
Oh,
English.
Hmm.
guys, I'm obsessed. I can't even tell
Nice.
you. And the sonnet's like my dream form because it's playful and if you know it well, you can break the rules. And I think that's actually true across writing. If you know it enough, you can break the rules and do it well. So you just have to know it really well. So yeah, no, a lot of the
Hmm.
poems are part of my graduate thesis. So anyway, that's coming out. It's called
Exciting.
Over the Hedgerows, and there's a lot of
Or-
playfulness with like Greek mythology and biblical things, and the Bible is literature. It's not religious. So I just wanted to like
And
clarify
say
that.
you
Yeah.
wrote it during religion class back in the
I
day,
don't
and
know. Oh my gosh. I do know the Bible pretty well, but no, it's not religious anyway. Yeah, so I'll be posting about that too because I'm sure there's some people who would be interested. And the publisher, since it's like a chat book, she does have like a PDF on her website. There, sorry, the editor is a she, but the publisher.
cool. That's exciting.
Thanks.
Yeah. A lot going on.
All right. And where can everyone find you? So how can we support you best?
Oh, thank you. So Instagram, I am not on TikTok or I'm not really on Facebook. I think I have like 24 followers on Facebook. Last night I just crossed over 4,000 followers on Instagram. So
Ooh,
I
nice.
know.
Congrats.
So that's really exciting. And that's just where I am. Like I love Instagram. I love the writing and Bookstagram community on there. My algorithm's like so confused because I post for both and I'm like, whatever. That's probably why I'm not going viral. Yeah, Instagram Threads is okay. And then yeah, I have my email on my website and on my link tree, I think, on Instagram. So was there another part of that question? I feel like my head's like just full of all
Like,
the questions.
what's the best way to support an indie author like you?
Oh, reviews. Oh my goodness. Word of mouth, by word of mouth, and then reviews are so helpful. Ratings, of
Like,
course. Yeah, but like
yeah,
an
like on
actual,
Amazon or Goodreads or.
yes. Unfortunately, I'm like Amazon's really important. And with the King's Promise specifically, I originally self-published it through CreateSpace, which was absorbed by Amazon. So I didn't have the option to self-publish it any other way. So yeah, it's really important. And the whole Kindle ratings and everything, whatever, very
Hmm.
important.
Okay, great. Well, we'll include all of that, or Liza will include all of that.
I'll include it in the show notes, so don't worry.
In the show
I don't do that
Thank
part. She does that part. Alrighty. Well, anything else that we want to chat about? I think we're good. Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for listening to episode 27. Leave us a comment or review. We'd love to connect with you. You can find us on Instagram at Let's Get Cozy Book Club or YouTube. And join us in 2 weeks where we reflect on our 1 year of podcasting anniversary.
Yay.
Until then, stay cozy, everybody.
Yay, perfect.